Section 4. Emphasis and focal points. Emphasis and focal points are essential design principles that draw attention and create visual interest within an interior space. They help to establish hierarchy and guide the viewer's eye to specific areas or elements that deserve special attention. By strategically placing focal points and creating emphasis, designers can create a sense of visual impact and enhance the overall design composition. Considerations for emphasis and focal points in interior design. Architectural features. Architectural features such as fireplaces, windows, and unique structural elements can serve as natural focal points in a space. Designers can highlight these features through various techniques such as emphasizing their size, shape, or material. For example, a large, grand fireplace can become a focal point in a living room by using contrasting materials or adding decorative elements around it. Furniture and decorative elements. Strategically placing furniture and decorative elements can create emphasis and focal points within a room. For instance, a large, bold-colored sofa placed against a neutral background can become the focal point in a living room. Similarly, a statement piece of artwork, a unique light fixture, or an eye-catching sculpture can be used to draw attention and create emphasis. Contrast and color. Contrast can be a powerful tool for creating emphasis. By using contrasting colors, textures, or materials, designers can draw attention to specific elements or areas within a space. For example, a dark-colored accent wall in a predominantly light-colored room can create a focal point. Additionally, the use of vibrant or saturated colors can also create visual impact and draw the eye towards specific areas. 4. Lighting. Lighting fixtures can be utilized to create emphasis and focal points within an interior space. By directing focused lighting onto certain elements, such as artwork or architectural details, designers can draw attention and create visual interest. Additionally, playing with different levels of brightness and shadow can further enhance the emphasis on specific areas. Scale and proportion. Varying the scale and proportion of elements can help establish focal points. Larger or oversized objects tend to naturally draw attention, while smaller objects may require additional emphasis through their placement or surrounding elements. Designers can use scale and proportion to create a focal point by deliberately introducing an element that stands out in terms of size or shape. Visual contrast and movement. Creating visual contrast and movement through patterns, lines, or textures can also contribute to the establishment of focal points. Introducing bold patterns or dynamic lines can draw the eye and create a sense of energy within a space. For example, a feature wall with a bold geometric pattern can become a focal point in a room. Negative space. The strategic use of negative space, or empty space, can also create emphasis by allowing certain elements to stand out. By intentionally leaving areas of the space less cluttered, designers can draw attention to focal points or important elements within the room. In conclusion, emphasis and focal points are crucial design principles that create visual interest and guide the viewer's attention within an interior space. Through the use of architectural features, furniture arrangement, contrast, color, lighting, scale, visual contrast, and negative space, designers can create focal points that enhance the overall composition and add depth to the design. By strategically placing emphasis, designers can create a sense of impact and highlight the most important elements within a space. Section 5. Rhythm and repetition. Rhythm and repetition are design principles that create a sense of visual movement and continuity within an interior space. They establish a flow and harmony by repeating certain elements or patterns throughout the design, creating a cohesive and dynamic composition. Rhythm refers to the visual beat or pattern that guides the eye, while repetition involves the intentional reiteration of design elements. Considerations for rhythm and repetition in interior design. Pattern and texture. Using patterns and textures consistently throughout a space can create a sense of rhythm and repetition. Patterns can be applied to various elements such as wallpapers, fabrics, or floor tiles. By repeating these patterns, designers establish a visual rhythm that unifies the space. Similarly, the use of textures, such as exposed brick walls or textured materials, can create a repeated visual motif that adds depth and interest. Line and shape. Lines and shapes contribute to the rhythm and repetition within an interior design. Horizontal lines can create a sense of stability and calm, while vertical lines can evoke a feeling of height and strength. Curved lines introduce movement and flow. Repeating these lines or shapes throughout a space establishes a visual rhythm and reinforces the design concept. For example, using repeated arched doorways or circular motifs can create a rhythmic pattern within a room. Color and material. Consistency in color and material choices helps establish a sense of rhythm and repetition. By repeating specific colors or materials, designers create a unified and harmonious design. For instance, using the same wood finish on furniture and architectural details throughout a space creates a repetitive pattern that ties the elements together. Repeating accent colors or using a consistent color palette also contributes to the visual rhythm. Furniture and decor placement. The strategic placement of furniture and decor items can contribute to the rhythm and repetition within a space. Grouping similar items together, such as a collection of vases or a set of picture frames, creates a repeated visual motif. Consistent spacing and alignment of furniture pieces also establish a sense of rhythm and flow. For example, repeating a particular chair style in different areas of a room can create a rhythmic pattern. Architectural features. Architectural elements can be utilized to create rhythm and repetition within an interior design. Repeated arches, columns, or moldings can establish a visual rhythm that guides the eye. Consistent use of specific architectural details throughout a space contributes to the overall harmony and cohesion of the design. Lighting. Lighting fixtures and their placement can contribute to the rhythm and repetition within an interior space. By strategically placing lighting fixtures in a repeated pattern or aligning them with other design elements, designers can establish a rhythmic flow. Consistent lighting design throughout a space also helps to create a unified and harmonious ambience. In conclusion, rhythm and repetition are important design principles that create a sense of visual movement and continuity within an interior space. By considering elements such as pattern, texture, line, shape, color, material, furniture placement, architectural features, and lighting, designers can establish a rhythmic pattern that enhances the overall composition. The intentional repetition of design elements adds depth, interest, and cohesiveness to the design, creating a harmonious and visually engaging interior.